Hi, this is Rob from Intelligent Irrigation LLC, and we're back here at John Kohlers for an update. You remember that we shot the installation video, and now we're back, I'd say about 2 months later, and we're here for an update. So let's go back and see how it looks. Okay, you all remember how we planted along the wall right here. So right here we planted some corn. There we got some corn coming out, and you remember this was a single-sided spray that was up against the wall. As the camera comes with me, we'll come down here. You notice we got a little bare spot in the center right here. What had happened was the system it's a 20-foot long system, and we put it in, and then the soil was put in after, and then what happened is the system bowed and it went down to 7 inches at this level. So we were able to diagnose that, lifted it back up, and now as you can see, we're getting all the moisture that we need right here, and that's why everything is able to grow here again. So we readjusted the system, kind of fine-tuned it. So if you do an installation where you have a long aquajet, you want to make sure that you support it underneath to make sure that it stays at the same height, which is 4 inches from here to the watering jets. Okay, so we come back down here and you'll see that these plants are flourishing very well along the 20-foot long. Remember, this was single-sided spray, 20-foot long, where it comes this way and then it went out that way. And as you see here, we got some tomato plants. Some tomatoes are growing really well. As you can see in here, there's just tomatoes all over the place down into there. So it smells really good too. So come down here and we'll show you the end of the bed. Once again, you see a lot of tomatoes busting loose on these plants over here. And then you'll see this bed. If you remember, this was the bed where we had the 2 aquajets in. It's 4 feet wide, 8 feet long. It's got 2 aquajets. He's grown some peppers and some various plants in this one. Everything looks really good here. As you can see, we got some nice looking peppers growing here. Jalapenos, I believe. But they're looking really good over there. These plants over here look really healthy. Look at the leaves. Nice dark green right here. Right there, nice healthy leaves. And if you come over to this next one, this is where we had the single one in. And John said he wanted to put 2 in there, so what we did is we left the single one in the middle, and then we put 2. So this is the very first bed that we know of that has 3 aquajets, and 3 aquajets in one bed. So we're going to see how that works. But as you can see, everything's growing really well in this bed. We have a variety of peppers in here. As you can see, some of the peppers are growing really good here. Once again, nice and healthy plants. Got some weeds growing in the middle. This is a nice healthy plant here. What we got here is a Vietnamese multicolored chili. Really nice plant right here. Then we come over to this bed. As you remember, this bed has 2 aquajets in it. It's 20 feet long. One of the first beds that John had planted. And then you come down here and you'll see that it too is doing really well. Got some really nice color on the green leaves right there. Got some peppers growing out over here. If you bring the camera over here, we can see some of these. Nice looking peppers that are growing there. As you come down, you see the different varieties. Nice purple peppers here. These are looking really good. Nice dark purple color there. Some of the hottest chilies in the world in this bed, so we can't wait till the bed finishes growing because we sure would like to get a sample of the hottest chili in the world. Not like that I would eat it, but I'd have somebody sample it for me. But anyhow, so this is the 2 beds, and we still need to plant in these 2 beds over here. But what we want to do right now is we want to go to the back again and show you a comparison, because what we got here is a comparison where we planted the tomatoes in the back, and they're on the aquajet. And we also planted the same variety of tomatoes at the same time on the drip system on the other side. So we're going to show you the comparison right now. So let's go back to the tomatoes with the aquajet. And it's these varieties back here. Okay, now these tomatoes and plants were planted at the same time that the other tomatoes were planted on the other side on the drip system. The only difference is this has the aquajet, that has a drip system. This has newer soil, that has the soil that it's been growing in. And so those are the only differences, and you'll see, I want you to get a comparison, because what we're going to do right now is we're going to go over to the other side and show you those. So we'll be right back with that in just a second. Okay, this is Rob, we're back again, and here's the comparison. Now these are the other ones. They were planted at the same time, and it's the same variety, and as you see, it's quite a bit smaller. As a matter of fact, I have to kneel down just so I can get in the picture here. But these tomato plants right here are the same variety, planted at the same time. Like I said, the only difference is this one has a drip system and the same soil it's been growing on. The other ones have the AquaJet and the new soil, and you can see the difference between these ones and the new ones. So this is a good comparison of the drip system versus the AquaJet. So now we're going to go back over there, and I have a moisture meter. So we're going to take some moisture readings, and let's see how that looks, and we'll show you those in case you guys want to go out and get your own moisture reader. You can see how that works, because sometimes you get fooled by the top of the soil being dry because it's still moist underneath, and that's where the roots are. So we'll be right back with that set. Okay, so what I have here is a moisture meter. It's a nice little digital moisture reader that gives you a digital readout from 1 to 10 of the moisture level. So I'm going to start right here because these are some really good plants. We know that it's got a good moisture level, so I'm going to stick it in. I'm going to stick it that far down where the roots are, and I get a reading of 9.7. So I know that 9.7 should be a good benchmark just based on how these are growing. So let me go over to the middle of the bed. I get a 9.9. Over a little farther, 8.5. Let's go to the very edge over here. And we got a 9.0. And now on the very, very edge, it's a 7.1. So this bed is running really good on moisture. Now let's check these where the tomatoes are, because these things are really just like a jungle back here. So this one right here is 8.6. 8.6. So somewhere between 8 and 9 looks like it's a good reading for a benchmark. We come over to here where a lot of tomatoes are growing, and it's a 9.8. If you want to bring the camera over here and look at these, we got a 9.8 where all these are right here. As you see, we got quite a bit just growing out. You can see the soil is moist. The soil is also in the shade, being shaded by the plants. So we're going to come down here. Soil looks a little bit drier, and it is. We're at a 6.5. 6.5, the plants are still growing good. Not as big as those ones, but as you can see, there's a little less moisture over here. Now we're back to a, 9.1. Back against the wall, 9.9. Now we go to this area right here, and we got a 7.2 and a 6.9. Okay, so what we found going on right here is after we raised the system, the jet, instead of coming straight out, it's coming down just a little, so the water is shooting on the down arc. So what we need to do is come in here and straighten out this hole and make that hole come straight out this way, which is what we're going to do. We don't need to do that right now. We can do that next season, because as you see, the moisture looks really good down here, and the roots have already gone down. So the roots from these plants are already down in 6-7 inches, and you see it's already moist. So it'd be good for this year, but after this season right here, the suggestion will be to cut it at the end and twist it back just a little bit, and we'll show you how to do that. Matter of fact, we can show you that right now, but we want to come down here and finish our moisture readings. So we seen where it was dry in the middle, which was a 7. Oh, gotta turn this on again. Okay. Add a 6.2 right there. 9.5. This part right here is always in the shade, so that may be why it's a little bit more moist there. 9.9. So once again, we come back up here. We're at 8.6. You'll see right here where we know it's moist. 9.3. Right here in the dry spot, it's 7.2. And right over here in another dry spot, well, it's just dry on top because it's 9.9. So anywhere between a 7 and a 9 seems to be a good reading, and that's what we're getting everywhere. So all the beds have good moisture level. See, this one right here is a 6.7, 8.9, 8.7. So you see the moisture readings. So if you want to get yourself a moisture reader, and then that way you can tell your own moisture level. If you're worried because it looks dry on top, the important thing is how moist is it in the root zone, and you can use this as a benchmark. So this is Rob, and we'll be right back with the showing of our installation at John Kohlers Growing Your Greens. It's actually our retake, as we're coming back to seeing how everything grows after our installation. So we'll be right back with the closeout video in just a second. Okay, so this is Rob, ready to close out the video. Once again, this is John Kohlers. You've seen the installation video, this being the fall of the follow-up video, and we're really pleased with what we've seen. When you had to come out here and make a couple of minor adjustments, like we said, we had to raise the long one in the middle where it kind of bowed like this, went down to 7 inches in the center, and it didn't moisten the top. So we raised that up to the 4-inch level, and everything looks really good. As you see in the beds behind us, we're really pleased with the way these are growing. It's only been a couple months, and of course you've seen the comparison between the drip system and the plants back. They're both planted at the same time, so we're really happy with that. And basically looks like it's doing really well, especially here in the desert where it's over 100 degrees constantly, and up in the 115s and 120s in the month of July. So we expect some really good growth. We're really happy with the way this worked out. We hope that you've enjoyed the video. We'll hopefully come back again at the end of the season and maybe do again a follow-up of when he's harvesting everything. So for now, from Growing Your Greens Backyard, and this is Rob from Intelligent Irrigation, reminding you to water intelligently with the AquaJet.